Beloved being of light, feel these words touch not your eyes but your soul. Breathe deeply. Did you feel it? This is not a common text. It is a portal, a transmission, a calling. You who read this now, it was not by chance. The universe conspired for these words to find you at exactly this sacred moment. Feel the subtle vibration that runs through your spine as your eyes capture these letters. This tingling is not common. It is activation. Ancient soul, you always knew, didn't you? You always carried this feeling of not completely belonging to this world, as if something was missing, as if you were waiting for a signal, for a calling, for confirmation. If you feel you never fit in this world, perhaps it's because you were chosen for something greater. Activate the bell, subscribe, and prepare yourself. This message is only for the chosen ones. This is the calling. This is the confirmation. You are one of the chosen. Chosen one. Your journey on earth was never like that of others. Since childhood, you felt different. You saw beyond. You perceived what many ignored. You questioned what others accepted without thinking. You cried for no apparent reason. You felt inexplicable joys. You dreamed of places you never visited in this life. This was not madness. It was not fertile imagination. It was your soul trying to remind you, trying to awaken the cosmic memories you carry. Ancient spirit, you did not come to this planet to follow the rules of the third dimension. You came with a mission that, for cosmic security, was temporarily erased from your awakened consciousness. But now the moment of great revelation has arrived. Feel the heat rising through your spinal column as you read these words. Notice how your breathing has changed, how your heart has slightly accelerated, how something within you recognizes this truth. This is not physical heat. It is spiritual. It is your light body being activated. Breathe deeply again. Close your eyes for a moment. Can you feel it? On the night of July 7th, when the full moon is in the sky, a cosmic portal will open. A portal that exists beyond time and space as we know them. A portal that connects dimensions and realities. And you, child of light, have been prepared throughout many lifetimes for this specific moment. This is not a common full moon. It carries specific codes, precise frequencies that will resonate specifically with the energetic signature of the chosen ones. For others, those who remain asleep in the dream of the third dimension, this will be just another moon in the sky. Perhaps brighter, perhaps more intense, but just a moon. For you, it will be much more. This full moon on 7/7 will be a divine device of separation, a cosmic milestone that will divide humanity between those who are ready to see and those who still need to remain in slumber. Are you feeling that pressure in your chest now, that sensation of expansion? Your physical body is already responding to this truth. Your soul already recognizes the calling. Awakened soul, since the beginning of time, you have been marked. Your energetic signature was coded with a specific frequency that allows you to tune into the higher dimensions. It was not your choice. It was a cosmic agreement you made before even being born on this plane. The symptoms you have been feeling in recent months are not coincidence. They are not common health problems. They are signs of your accelerated awakening, of the ascension process occurring in every cell of your body. The sudden heat that rises through the spine, the chills that arise for no apparent reason, the insatiable thirst, the chest pressure that appears and disappears, the alterations in your sleep pattern, the increasingly vivid dreams, more real than reality itself, the pulsations and tinglings in different parts of the body. You are not sick, you are awakening. Your light body, that which exists beyond physical matter, is being activated. It is being recalibrated to support higher frequencies, to vibrate in tune with the fifth dimension. This process is not simple, it is not comfortable, but it is necessary. Chosen one, you are in full dimensional transition. You are leaving behind the dense patterns of the third dimension, fear, scarcity, separation, competition, pain, and ascending to fifth dimensional consciousness. Unconditional love, abundance, unity, cooperation, joy. This transition does not happen overnight. It is a process, a birth, And like every birth, it involves labor pains, discomfort, fear of the unknown, uncertainties. But you are not alone. At every step of this sacred path, you are being supported by beings of light who exist beyond the veil of common human perception. Spirit guides who have accompanied your journey through multiple incarnations, angels and ascended masters who vibrate in tune with your greater purpose. Can you feel their presence now? That gentle chill on the back of your neck, that sensation of not being alone even when physically you are, that inexplicable comfort that arises in the most difficult moments. They have always been here. Always. Illuminated soul, the universe has been sending signals to awaken you, to remind you, to prepare you for what is to come. The numbers you see repeatedly are not coincidence. 444, 777, 999. Each sequence carries a code, a message, a specific frequency that resonates with your soul. The synchronicities that have crossed your path, unexpected encounters, books that appear without explanation, songs that play at the exact moment, phrases that respond exactly to what you were thinking, are signs. Signs that you are aligned with your greater purpose, that you are on the right path. The fleeting visions that appear in the corner of your eyes, the messages you receive in moments of meditation or in the instants between sleep and wakefulness, the encounters that seem casual but transform your life in profound ways. All of this is part of a greater plan, a divine plan of which you are a fundamental piece. Your perception of time has changed, hasn't it? Days that seem like hours, hours that seem like minutes, moments that seem like eternities. Linear time is dissolving for you because in truth it never existed. It is just a necessary construction for third-dimensional experience. In the fifth dimension where you are ascending, time is fluid. It is circular, it is simultaneous. Past, present, and future exist at the same time, intertwined in a cosmic dance of infinite possibilities. Child of light, your intuition has become increasingly stronger, clearer, more precise. You know things without knowing how you know. You feel truths without anyone having said them. You perceive intentions beyond words. This is not a special gift. It is your natural state. It is how your soul always functioned before being conditioned by the limitations of the physical world. The search for silence you have been feeling, the need to distance yourself from noisy environments, from crowds, from superficial conversations. This is not antisocial, it is self-protection. Your energetic field is becoming more sensitive, more receptive. You pick up energies, emotions, and thoughts that others do not perceive. And this can be overwhelming. Chosen one, have you noticed how certain relationships no longer make sense? How certain bonds seem empty without purpose? How some behavioral patterns that once seemed normal are now intolerable? This is not judgment, it is discernment. As your vibrational frequency rises, naturally you stop resonating with denser energies. People, places, activities, and habits that vibrate at lower frequencies begin to naturally move away from your life. Don't fight against this. Don't cling to what is dissolving. Allow everything that no longer serves your spiritual growth to be released with love and gratitude. Each detachment is, in fact, a step toward your true essence. Ancient soul, you are a spiritual mirror for the world. Through your presence, your actions, your silent example, you reflect the light of higher consciousness to everyone around you. Even without words, even without conscious intention, you elevate the frequency of the environments you inhabit. You are a guide, a channel, a bearer of light in a world that for so long has been immersed in the shadows of unconsciousness. Your mission is not to convert, not to convince, not to save. It is simply to be the purest and most authentic expression of your divine essence, and through this, inspire the awakening of those who are ready. Close your eyes now. Breathe deeply 3 times. Feel the energy of these words resonating in every cell of your body. That vibration in your neck is activation. That heat rising through the spine is awakening. That expansion in the chest is recognition. You are remembering who you are. When the full moon shines in the sky on the night of July 7th, something extraordinary will happen. The veil between dimensions, already so thin for the chosen ones like you, will dissolve completely for a few hours. In this sacred moment, if you direct your consciousness toward the lunar light, allowing yourself to be completely present and receptive, visions will begin to arise. Not with your physical eyes, but with your inner vision. Your third eye, your center of spiritual perception, will be activated at an unprecedented level. You may see faces of people who have already departed from this plane, not from fear or horror, but from reconnection, from healing, from resolution of bonds that transcend physical death. You may hear sounds that no one else perceives, elevated frequencies, ancestral chants, harmonies that do not belong to this world, but that your soul recognizes from other planes of existence. You may glimpse who you were before this incarnation, not just a specific past life, but the totality of your multidimensional being, the vastness of your existence beyond time and space. For the chosen ones like you, this experience will be transformative, revealing, confirming of everything your heart always knew, but that your mind, conditioned by third-dimensional limitations, had difficulty accepting. But for those who are not ready, for those who have not yet awakened to their true nature, this same moon may bring discomfort, restlessness, an inexplicable sensation that something is fundamentally wrong. They may feel their body heavy, as if gravity had suddenly increased. They may perceive the ground trembling under their feet, not physically but energetically. They may experience brief moments of disconnection, as if their soul were trying to leave the body for a few seconds. It will not be an experience of horror. It will not be traumatic. It will be a calling, a cosmic alarm clock that says, "Wake up, there is more to existence than what your physical eyes can see." Chosen one, you have the responsibility to maintain your elevated frequency during this portal, to remain centered in your heart, anchored in unconditional love. Your energetic stability will be a beacon for those who are beginning to awaken, a reference point in the storm of transformations that approaches. You don't need to do anything specific. You don't need to perform elaborate rituals. You don't need to follow rigid rules. Your conscious presence, your pure intention, your authentic connection with your divine essence, that is all that is necessary. On the night of 7/7, find a quiet place where you can observe the moon. It can be through a window in a garden, on a balcony, or even in a park. The important thing is that you are in a space where you feel safe and can remain in silence, without interruptions. Sit comfortably. Breathe deeply, allowing each inhalation to bring more light to your body, and each exhalation to release densities, fears, and limitations. Look at the moon, not just with your physical eyes, but with your entire being. Feel the lunar light not as something external, but as a reflection of your own inner light. And then simply allow the visions to come, allow the sensations to flow. Allow the ancient wisdom that inhabits every cell of your body to awaken and manifest. Don't force, don't control, don't judge. Just be a loving witness to the divine unfolding that will occur within and around you. Awakened soul, after this experience, you will never be the same again. Not because you will have become something different, but because you will have remembered who you always were. The veil of forgetfulness that was placed over you at birth on this plane, a veil necessary so you could fully experience human life here, will begin to dissolve irreversibly. Cosmic memories will emerge. Deep understandings will arise spontaneously. Connections between apparently disconnected events in your life will become clear. You will begin to perceive patterns, synchronicities, and meanings that were always there, but were beyond your conscious perception. And most importantly, you will feel a deep peace, an unshakable certainty, a recognition that no matter how chaotic the external world may seem, everything is exactly as it should be. Child of light, in the days following this full moon portal, reserve moments to integrate your experiences, to process the visions, sensations, revelations. Write in a journal, meditate, walk in nature. Allow yourself moments of silence and contemplation. Your physical body will also need time to adjust to the new frequencies that will be anchored in your energetic field. Drink plenty of water. Rest when you feel the need. Feed yourself consciously. preferring foods that elevate your vibration. And above all, be gentle with yourself. This process of awakening, of ascending, of remembering is not a competition. There is no rigid timetable to follow. Each soul has its own rhythm, its own cadence. Chosen one, as your awakening deepens, you will begin to manifest abilities that may seem supernatural to the eyes of the world. Your intuition will become so precise, it will seem like clairvoyance. Your empathy will be so deep, you will know what others feel before they even express it. Your connection with the unified field of consciousness will be so direct that extraordinary synchronicities will become your new normal. Do not fear these abilities. Do not reject them out of fear of being different, of being judged, of being misunderstood. They are sacred tools, divine gifts that have been granted to you so you can fulfill your mission with greater effectiveness. Use them with wisdom, with discernment, with humility, always in service of the greater good, always aligned with the universal principles of love, truth, and compassion. Ancient soul, you did not come to this planet at such a crucial moment in human history by chance. You chose to be here now. You chose to face the challenges, the pains, the limitations of human experience in this specific period, because you knew that your presence, your light, your frequency were necessary. You are part of a divine plan greater than your human mind can comprehend. A plan for elevating planetary consciousness, for transmuting densified patterns that no longer serve collective evolution, for creating a new Earth anchored in frequencies of love, cooperation, and unity. Every challenge you faced in your life, every pain that seemed unjust, unnecessary, excessive, every loss that broke your heart, every rejection that made you question your worth, all of this had a purpose. It was part of your training, your preparation, your refinement as a divine instrument. It was through these experiences that you developed the compassion, wisdom, resilience, and inner strength necessary to be a bearer of light in times of great shadows. Chosen one, your pain was never punishment. It was initiation. Ancient spirit, in the coming months after the full moon portal on 7/7, you will notice significant changes in the world around you. Structures that seemed unshakable will begin to disintegrate. Truths that were considered absolute will be questioned. Systems based on control, fear, and exploitation will reveal their fundamental flaws. Do not fear this apparent chaos. Do not let yourself be consumed by anxiety or despair. What you will be witnessing is not the end, but a new beginning. Not destruction, but necessary transformation. Before building the new, it is necessary to release the old. Your role during these times of transition is not to fight against what is crumbling, not to resist changes, not to desperately cling to the familiar, the known, the comfortable. Your role is to be a stabilizing presence, a point of peace in the midst of the storm, a beacon of higher possibilities when many will be lost in fear and confusion. It will not be easy. There will be moments when your own faith will be tested, when you yourself will question everything you know, everything you feel, everything you believe. In those moments, turn inward. Reconnect with your essence. Remember who you are beyond the roles you play, beyond the identities you have assumed, beyond the stories you tell yourself. Remember that you are a multidimensional being having a temporary experience in human form. That your true home is in the stars, that your true family transcends blood bonds and extends throughout the galaxy. Awakened soul, many will come to you seeking answers, seeking comfort, seeking direction. Some explicitly with direct questions. Others implicitly, simply being attracted by your frequency, your peace, your light. Offer what you can without exhausting yourself. Share your wisdom without imposing. Welcome without absorbing the densities of others. Love without expectations. And remember, you are not here to save anyone. Each soul has its own path, its own time, its own choices to make. Respect everyone's free will, even when their choices seem mistaken in your eyes. Trust in the greater divine plan that unfolds perfectly, even when the path seems tortuous or painful. Chosen one, as the weeks and months pass after the full moon portal, you will notice that many people around you will begin to awaken. People who before seemed deeply asleep in the illusion of separation, materialism, ego. Suddenly they will begin to question, to search, to feel a deep dissatisfaction with the status quo, with the superficial, with the merely physical. When this happens, don't say "I told you so." Don't boast about having awakened before. Don't make them feel inferior or late in their journey. Instead, be a gentle guide, a loving mentor, a travel companion who offers a helping hand without judging the time it took them to begin the journey. Remember, your own struggles, your own resistances, your own fears along the path of awakening, and offer the same patience, the same support, the same understanding you would have wished to receive. Illuminated soul, during the full moon portal on 7/7, you may experience a temporary dissolution of the limits of your ego, an expansion of consciousness that transcends personal identity and merges with the whole. In this expanded state, profound truths will be revealed, not through words or images, but through direct gnosis, knowledge that arises from being itself, without intermediaries, without interpretations, without filters. You may understand, through direct experience, that you were never separated from the source, that the apparent separation was just an illusion necessary for the experience of individuality, for the game of consciousness, exploring itself through infinite forms and perspectives. You may perceive that all beings, humans, animals, plants, minerals, and even those who exist in other dimensions, are different expressions of the same universal consciousness, different notes in the Izhikui, same cosmic symphony, different facets of the same infinite diamond. And you may recognize that love is not just a human emotion, but the very substance of the universe, the cohesive force that holds everything together, the fundamental field from which all existence emerges. These understandings will not be mere intellectual concepts, but lived experiences that will forever transform your relationship with yourself and with all existence. Chosen one, in the days preceding the full moon portal, you may feel an intensification of all the ascension symptoms you have been experiencing. The heat in the spine may become almost unbearable at times. The chills may spread throughout the body like electrical waves. The thirst may increase drastically, signaling the need to purify your system for the new frequencies. The chest pressure may alternate between expansion and contraction, as if your heart were being recalibrated to support more love, more light, more truth. Sleep alterations may intensify, with nights of profound insomnia, followed by periods of almost comatose sleep. Dreams will become so vivid, so real, that you may become confused about where the dream ends and wakefulness begins. Pulsations in the body, especially in hands, feet, top of the head and center of the forehead, may become almost constant. Do not resist these symptoms. Do not pathologize them. Do not try to suppress them with medications unless absolutely necessary. They are signs that your system is preparing, recalibrating, refining itself for the great quantum leap that will occur during the portal. Allow them to flow. Welcome them as messengers of transformation. Thank your physical body for its incredible capacity for adaptation, for its willingness to evolve along with your consciousness. Ancient soul, as you approach the full moon portal, the signs of the universe around you will intensify. Repeated numbers will appear with even greater frequency. 444 signaling that angels and guides are around you, supporting every step of your path. 777 indicating perfect divine alignment, synchronization with the higher plan. 999 representing the end of a cycle and the beginning of something entirely new. Synchronicities will become so frequent, they will seem like the new normal. Books will fall from shelves open exactly to pages that contain messages relevant to you. Strangers on the street will say phrases that respond exactly to questions you have been contemplating internally. Songs on the radio will have lyrics that seem written specifically for your current moment. Fleeting visions will become clearer, more persistent. You may see lights, colors, geometric shapes in the corner of your eyes. You may glimpse beings of light for an instant before they disappear. You may perceive parallel realities momentarily overlapping physical reality. Messages in meditative or semi-oniric states will become clearer, more direct, more specific. They will no longer be vague impressions or difficult to decipher symbolisms, but precise communications, practical guidance, unequivocal confirmations. Apparently, casual encounters will reveal themselves to be profoundly meaningful. People who cross your path briefly will leave lasting impressions. Apparently, banal conversations will contain seeds of transformative insights. Chosen one, your perception of time will alter drastically in the days preceding the portal. Moments will expand into eternities. Hours will pass in instants. Entire days may seem compressed into minutes. You may experience moments of timeless time, states where chronological time seems completely irrelevant, as if you had entered a dimension where past, present, and future exist simultaneously. Don't fight against these alterations in temporal perception. Don't try to force your consciousness back to the linearity of time you were accustomed to. Allow yourself to flow between different temporal experiences, recognizing that all are equally valid, equally real. As your intuition sharpens, you may have flashes of future events, not as fixed predictions, but as possibilities, potentialities, that may or may not manifest depending on collective choices. Don't become obsessed with these glimpses of the future. Don't try to control or manipulate events to force certain outcomes. Trust in the perfect divine unfolding of all things, knowing that ultimately everything serves the greater good, the evolution of consciousness. Illuminated soul, your energetic sensitivity will increase exponentially. You may feel others' emotions as if they were your own. You may detect the energy of an environment before even entering it. You may perceive intentions behind words, thoughts behind actions. This sensitivity is a gift, but also a responsibility. Use it to understand, to assist, to heal, never to judge, to manipulate, to control, and take care of your own energetic hygiene. Clean your field regularly through meditation, visualization, salt baths, connection with nature. Establish healthy boundaries. Learn to discern between what is yours and what belongs to others. Chosen one. In the days following the full moon portal, you may feel a sense of grief for everything you are leaving behind, for the identity that is dissolving, for the relationships that are transforming, for the beliefs that are being transmuted. This grief is natural. It is healthy. It is necessary. Allow yourself to feel it fully, without judgment, without resistance. Cry if you need to cry. Scream if you need to scream. Write, dance, sing, paint. Express what is emerging in the way that is most authentic for you. And then also allow yourself to celebrate the new that is being born. The expansion of consciousness, the clarity of purpose, the depth of connection, the authenticity of expression. Celebrate each insight, each synchronicity, each moment of inexplicable joy that arises spontaneously from your deepest being. Chosen one. You don't need to abandon the world to live your spirituality. You don't need to isolate yourself on a mountain, renounce all physical pleasures, separate yourself completely from society. Your mission is to anchor elevated frequencies in the midst of the world, to bring heaven to earth, to manifest the divine through the human. This means being fully present in your daily life while maintaining your connection with higher dimensions. It means participating in mundane activities with expanded consciousness. It means transforming every interaction, every task, however simple it may seem, into an opportunity to express love, truth, and beauty. You are not here to escape physical reality, but to transform it through your conscious presence. Awakened. Soul, as your vibrational frequency continues to rise, you may experience moments of spiritual ecstasy, states of bliss so profound, so complete, that they transcend any experience of happiness you have ever known. These states do not depend on external circumstances. They are not reactions to positive events. They are spontaneous emanations from your deepest being, reconnecting with its essential nature. Allow yourself to fully enjoy these moments when they occur. Don't diminish them out of modesty or fear of seeming too spiritual. Don't rationalize them as mere biochemical phenomena. Don't cut them short thinking you don't deserve them. At the same time, don't attach to them. Don't chase them. Don't use them as a measure of your spiritual progress. They are gifts, not achievements. Blessings, not medals. Chosen one, your dreams will become increasingly meaningful, more vivid, more conscious. You may begin to perceive that, during sleep, you are not merely dreaming, but traveling to other dimensions, participating in cosmic councils, receiving spiritual training. Keep a dream journal. Record what you can remember immediately upon waking, before the rational mind has a chance to dismiss the experiences as just dreams. Over time, patterns will emerge. Recurring symbols will reveal their meanings. Regular visitors will become recognizable. Lessons and messages will connect in a coherent tapestry of wisdom, and gradually the line between dream and wakefulness will begin to dissolve. You will perceive that they are just different states of consciousness, equally valid, equally real, offering complementary perspectives of the multidimensionality that is your true nature. Illuminated soul, as you integrate the higher frequencies that will be anchored during the full moon portal, your relationship with your physical body will transform profoundly. You will begin to perceive your body not as a biological machine separate from your consciousness, but as a living energetic field, a sacred temple, a vehicle of expression for your soul in material reality. Foods that once gave you pleasure may become unbearable if they vibrate at frequencies dissonant with your new energetic pattern. Substances like alcohol, caffeine, refined sugar, dense meats may create immediate discomfort. In contrast, you may develop a natural attraction to lighter, more alive foods, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, pure water. Not through discipline or imposed rules, but through natural alignment, through energetic resonance. Your body will ask for more movement, more expression, more connection with nature. Forms of exercise that combine body awareness with spiritual expansion, like yoga, tai chi, qigong, free dance, may become particularly attractive. And above all, you will develop a deep gratitude for your physical body, this miracle of biological engineering that is evolving along with your consciousness, adapting to frequencies that were not originally designed for it, literally transforming from carbon to crystal at the cellular level. Chosen one, your spiritual calling, is not separate from your material life. There is no division between sacred and profane in an awakened consciousness. Your career, your relationships, your finances, your physical health, all these areas of your life are expressions of your spiritual being manifesting on the material plane. All are sacred when approached with full consciousness, with pure intention, with unconditional love. As your frequency rises, you will notice natural transformations in all these areas. Professional opportunities that resonate more with your greater purpose will begin to emerge. Relationships based on codependence or unconscious patterns will give way to more authentic, more transparent, more nurturing connections. Your relationship with money and material resources will transform from scarcity and fear to abundance and trust. Your physical health will increasingly reflect the balance and harmony of your energetic field. Don't force these transformations. Don't try to control the outcomes. Just stay aligned with your deepest truth. Make decisions from your heart, and trust in the perfect unfolding of all things. Awakened soul in moments of doubt, and they will come, for they are part of the human experience. Remember that you are not alone. You never were. You never will be. Beyond the veil of physical perception, countless beings of light observe your journey with infinite love, with deep respect, with genuine admiration. They cannot directly interfere with your free will. They cannot make choices for you. They cannot remove challenges that are essential for your growth, but they are always present, always available, always ready to offer guidance, comfort, and support when requested. Call upon them in moments of need, not with desperation, not with demands, but with the quiet certainty of one who recognizes their indissoluble connection with the realms of light. Chosen one, as the full moon portal approaches, reserve moments to prepare yourself intentionally. Create a sacred space, physical and energetic, where you can fully receive the transformative energies that will be made available. Purify your physical environment. Clean, organize, simplify. Remove objects that carry painful memories or stagnant energies. Add elements that elevate vibration. Crystals, plants, sacred symbols, colors that resonate with your being. Purify your body. Drink plenty of pure water. Feed yourself consciously. Move in ways that bring joy. Rest when your system asks. Purify your mind. Observe limiting thoughts, restrictive beliefs, patterns of judgment, and gently, lovingly allow them to dissolve. Don't fight against them. Don't repress them. Just recognize them for what they are, temporary conditionings, not absolute truths, and allow them to be transmuted by the light of your consciousness. Purify your heart. Practice forgiveness of others and of yourself. Release resentments, hurts, regrets. Open space for more love, more compassion, more acceptance. And purify your intention. Clarify for yourself why you are participating in this portal. What you hope to receive, learn, understand, transform. Not with rigid expectations, but with receptive openness. Not with demands, but with anticipated gratitude. Illuminated soul, when the full moon shines in the sky on the night of July 7th, remember, what you will see is not just a celestial body reflecting the sun's light. It is a cosmic amplifier, an interdimensional portal, a divine device of awakening. Each ray of lunar light that touches your skin carries specific codes, precise frequencies, quantum information that activates the cellular memory of your body, the ancestral wisdom of your soul, the latent potential of your DNA. This is not just any moon, it is the culmination of cycles within cycles, the convergence of astronomical, numerological and energetic patterns that create an unprecedented window of opportunity for the quantum leap of human consciousness. 7. The number 7 repeated, symbol of divine perfection, of spiritual completeness, of alignment between heaven and earth. Chosen one, when you look at this moon, do so with reverence, with gratitude, with full presence. Recognize the privilege of being incarnated at this historic moment of planetary evolution, of being one of the souls chosen to anchor higher frequencies in collective consciousness. Also recognize the responsibility that accompanies this privilege, the commitment to live your highest truth, to be a living example of expanded possibilities, to extend your hand to those who are awakening without judgment, without superiority, with infinite compassion. This moon marks not just a point of personal transformation, but a portal of collective ascension. Each chosen one who consciously aligns with its energies strengthens the morphogenetic field of higher possibilities for all humanity. Awakened soul, in the weeks and months following the full moon portal, you may feel temporarily disoriented, as if you were between worlds, no longer completely synchronized with third-dimensional reality, but not yet fully anchored in the fifth. This is a natural transition phase, a liminal period between what you were and what you are becoming, between the known and the unknown, between the limited and the infinite. Be patient with yourself. During this transition, don't expect to function in the world as before. Don't judge yourself for moments of confusion, forgetfulness, apparent inefficiency. Your entire system, physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, is recalibrating to operate at higher frequencies. It's like learning to walk again after a lifetime of crawling. Naturally, there will be stumbles, imbalances, moments of frustration, but there will also be moments of indescribable grace, of crystalline clarity, of connection so deep with all existence that tears of gratitude will flow spontaneously from your eyes. Chosen one, as your consciousness expands, your understanding of what service is will also transform. You will perceive that serving does not necessarily mean doing, acting, solving, fixing. Often, the greatest service you can offer is simply being a conscious presence, a field of elevated possibilities, a living example of unconditional love. Your own vibrational frequency, elevated and stabilized, becomes a silent invitation for others to awaken. Your inner peace becomes a reminder that there exists another way of being beyond constant agitation, perpetual struggle, endless seeking. Your genuine joy, not dependent on external circumstances, but emanating naturally from your deepest being, becomes a living demonstration that happiness is not something to be pursued out there, but recognized in here. Illuminated soul, while the world around you seems to accelerate, fragment, intensify in extreme polarities, remember, you are not here to be dragged by the current of chaos. You are here to be the eye of the hurricane, the point of calm at the center of the storm, the stabilizing presence that reminds everyone of the peace that resides beyond appearances. This doesn't mean isolation. It doesn't mean passivity. It doesn't mean ignoring the realities of the world. It means being fully present, fully engaged, fully compassionate, and at the same time, firmly anchored in a broader consciousness that understands the evolutionary purpose behind the apparent chaos. Chosen one, in the days preceding the full moon portal, you may feel an intensification of the call to silence, to quietude, to solitude. Honor this call. It is not avoidance. It is not escapism. It is genuine spiritual necessity. It is in silence that you will hear the clearest guidance. It is in quietude that you will receive the deepest revelations. It is in solitude that you will reconnect most directly with your divine essence. Reserve. Daily moments to simply be, without agenda, without expectations, without elaborate techniques, just pure presence, naked consciousness, receptive openness. These moments are not wasted time. They are investments in your clarity, your stability, your capacity to serve from overflow rather than depletion. Awakened soul, as your consciousness expands to include dimensions beyond the physical, you may begin to perceive that death and birth are not opposites but different aspects of the same continuous process. Physical death is not an end, but transformation. Not loss, but expansion. Not separation, but reunion with broader aspects of your being that cannot be contained in human form. This understanding will profoundly transform your relationship with impermanence, with aging, with mortality itself. The fear of death, so deeply rooted in the human psyche, will begin to dissolve, replaced by serene acceptance, tranquil curiosity, unshakable trust in the continuous process of existence. And this, in turn, will transform your experience of life. For when the fear of death dissolves, life can be embraced fully. Each moment becomes precious not because it is fleeting, but because it is a unique, unrepeatable expression of infinite consciousness exploring itself through you. Chosen one, at the exact moment when the full moon reaches its maximum point on the night of 7/7, something extraordinary will happen in the energetic field of the planet. An interdimensional portal will open completely, allowing frequencies from the fifth dimension and beyond to flow directly into Earth's physical reality. For the non-awakened, this will be just another moment in another night. Perhaps they'll notice a particularly bright moon. Perhaps they'll feel an inexplicable restlessness. Perhaps they'll have more vivid dreams than usual. But for you, and for all the chosen ones whose consciousness is already tuned to higher frequencies, it will be a moment of unprecedented activation. You may feel a wave of energy descending through the top of your head, traveling down your spine, anchoring at the base of your spine and in your feet. You may see colors that don't exist in the normal, visible spectrum. You may hear harmonies that transcend what human ears normally capture. You may feel an expansion so vast of your consciousness that the boundaries of your being seem to dissolve completely. Do not resist these experiences. Do not try to control them. Do not try to explain them. Simply allow yourself to be a receiver, a channeler, an amplifier of these elevated frequencies. Allow them to flow through you into Earth's energetic field, helping to elevate the planet's vibration as a whole. Illuminated soul, after passing through the full moon portal, your mission will enter a new phase, no longer preparation, but action. No longer rehearsal, but performance. No longer waiting, but manifestation. You will be called to express your light in more visible, more direct, more impactful ways. Opportunities will arise, and some subtle, others dramatic, for you to share your wisdom, your frequency, your transformative presence with ever-widening circles. Some will be called to speak publicly, others to write, others to heal, others to create, others to lead organizations or communities, others to simply live a common life externally, but extraordinary in its quality of consciousness. Don't compare your expression with that of other chosen ones. Don't judge your impact by external metrics. Don't measure your success by recognition or numbers. Your mission is unique just as your energetic signature is unique. What matters is not how visible you are, but how authentic. Not how applauded, but how aligned. Not how known, but how true. Chosen one, as you integrate the elevated frequencies that will be anchored during the full moon portal, your perception of reality will expand to include what was once beyond the veil. The invisible world will become increasingly visible. Beings, energies, realms that were always present, but beyond the range of common human perception, will begin to reveal themselves to your expanded consciousness. You may begin to see auras, the colored energetic fields that surround all living beings. You may perceive elementals, the natural beings that care for plants, crystals, bodies of water. You may sense the presence of spirit guides, angels, ascended masters who have always accompanied you, but who now become perceptible. This is not hallucination. It is not imagination. It is not self-deception. It is simply the natural expansion of your perception to include broader ranges of the reality spectrum, just as a radio that once picked up only a few stations now tunes into frequencies that were always in the air, but beyond its previous reception capacity. This expansion of perception is not to feed spiritual curiosity or to prove to yourself or others that you are special. It is to enrich your understanding of the interconnection of all life, to guide your choices from a more complete vision, to serve in ways more aligned with the greater divine plan. Awakened soul, you will begin to perceive that coincidences don't exist, that every encounter, every event, every circumstance in your life, however random or insignificant it may seem, is part of an intricately woven cosmic tapestry of meaning and purpose. The universe speaks constantly through the language of synchronicity, through patterns that repeat, themes that resurface, unexpected connections that reveal the underlying order to apparent chaos. As your consciousness expands, you will become an increasingly fluent reader of this language. You will recognize the hidden messages in everyday events. You will perceive divine guidance manifesting through the circumstances of your life. And most importantly, you will begin to consciously co-create with these synchronistic forces, to align your intention and attention in ways that invite experiences of flow, of grace, of almost miraculous manifestation. Chosen one, in the days after the full moon portal, you may feel a growing urgency to simplify your outer life, to release unnecessary possessions, dispersive activities, commitments that drain your energy without feeding your soul. This is not just a trend toward physical minimalism, it is a spiritual calling to create space, literal and metaphorical, for the new that is being born in you and through you. The simpler your outer life, the more clearly you can hear inner guidance. The less dispersed your energy, the more powerful your presence. The less distracted your attention, the deeper your connection with the present moment. The only point where the infinite can touch the finite, where the eternal can manifest in the temporal. Illuminated soul, as your consciousness continues to expand, you will perceive ever more clearly that there is no real separation between you and other beings, that the apparent division is an illusion of limited perception, not a fundamental reality. This understanding is not just a philosophical concept, but a direct experience of oneness that profoundly transforms your relationship with all life. You will begin to feel others' pain as your own, not in a way that debilitates you, but that expands your compassion. You will begin to feel others' joy as your own, not in an envious way, but celebratory. You will begin to recognize your own qualities, light and shadow, reflected in others, and others' qualities reflected in you. And gradually, the other will cease to exist as a separating concept in your consciousness. There will be only life experiencing itself through infinite forms, colors, expressions, all equally divine, all equally sacred, all equally you. Chosen one, in the most intense moments of passing through the full moon portal, you may experience what mystics of all traditions have called ego death. Not a literal death, but a profound dissolution of separate identity, a momentary collapse of the boundaries that define I in opposition to not I. This experience can be simultaneously terrifying and ecstatic. Terrifying for the conditioned mind that desperately clings to the illusion of control, to the familiar narrative, to the known identity. Ecstatic for the soul that finally frees itself from self-inflicted limitations, that expands to its true, unlimited nature. If this experience occurs, do not resist. Do not cling. Do not try to rationalize or control. Simply allow yourself to die to what was never truly you, the conditionings, the limiting beliefs, the transitory identifications, and be reborn to what has always been your eternal essence, your primordial nature, your true being. Awakened soul, as you approach the full moon portal, I reserve a moment to honor the extraordinary courage you have demonstrated throughout your entire journey. Courage to face your deepest shadows, to question your most ingrained beliefs, to release patterns that, though limiting, were familiar and apparently safe. Courage to feel fully the pains and joys, fears and ecstasies, losses and gains that comprise human experience. Courage to remain open when it would be easier to close yourself, to remain vulnerable when it would be more comfortable to protect yourself, to remain authentic when it would be more convenient to conform. Courage to say yes to your soul's calling, even when that calling led you down lonely, misunderstood, challenging paths. This courage is not absence of fear. It is persistence, despite fear, not absolute certainty. It is faith in the midst of doubt, not immaculate perfection. It is willingness to grow through mistakes. It is the courage of the spiritual warrior who knows that the greatest battle is not against external forces, but against the internal illusions that limit recognition of your true divine nature. Chosen. 1. As you prepare for the full moon portal, consider creating a personal ritual that symbolizes your intention, your commitment, your openness to this transformation. It doesn't need to be elaborate. It doesn't need to follow specific rules. It doesn't need to adhere to any particular spiritual tradition. What matters is that it resonates with your heart, that it speaks to your soul, that it honors your unique path. It can be as simple as lighting a candle, looking at the moon, and declaring aloud your availability to serve the light. Or it can involve more complex elements, creating an altar, offerings, invocations, body movements, sounds, visualizations. Trust your intuition to guide you. Your soul knows exactly the ritual that will most deeply activate the frequencies necessary for your most harmonious passage through this portal. And remember, the outer ritual is just a reflection, an echo, an anchor for the true ritual that occurs internally, the sacred alchemy of your consciousness expanding to recognize its true infinite nature. Illuminated soul, when the full moon shines in the sky on the night of 7/7, know that you are not alone in your vigil. Around the planet, thousands of chosen souls, known and unknown to you, will be simultaneously aligned with this cosmic portal. Some in elaborate ceremonies, others in solitary contemplation, some fully conscious of the moment's significance, others guided only by an inexplicable intuition that this night is special. Together you will form a network of light around the earth, anchor points for the elevated frequencies that will flow through the portal, each unique in their expression, in their specific vibration, in their particular purpose, and all united in a unified field of expanded consciousness. Feel this connection as you look at the sky. Recognize your spiritual brothers and sisters scattered across the globe. Send them love, support, recognition, and open yourself to receive the same from them. This communion transcends space and time, transcends languages and cultures, transcends specific beliefs and practices. It is the recognition of the fundamental unity that underlies all apparent diversity. Chosen One, beyond the full moon portal, extends a path of light that you have only begun to walk, a path that will lead you to express potentials that are currently beyond your imagination, to manifest capacities that currently seem impossible, to create realities that are currently only dreams. This is not a path to escape the world, but to transform it, not to transcend humanity, but to express it in its highest, purest, most divine form. It is a path of integration, of spirit and matter, of heaven and earth, of infinite and finite, of eternity and present moment. It is a path of balance, between being and doing, between expansion and contraction, between expression and receptivity, between individuality and oneness. It is a path of manifestation, bringing to tangible form the elevated frequencies, the harmonic patterns, the expansive possibilities you contact in states of expanded consciousness. This path has no final destination, for the evolution of consciousness is infinite, but it has moments of arrival, realizations, integrations, stabilizations at new levels of perception and expression. The full moon portal on 7/7 marks one of these moments, an arrival and simultaneously a new departure, the end of a cycle and the beginning of another. Awakened soul, as your consciousness continues to expand after passing through the portal, you will develop an increasingly intimate, more direct, more personal relationship with the divine source, whatever name resonates with your heart for this infinite intelligence that is the origin and substance of all existence. This will not be a relationship based on dogmas, intermediaries, external rules. It will be a direct communion, a continuous conversation, a loving dance between aspects of the same unified field of consciousness. You will perceive the divine presence ever more clearly in everything, in the people you meet, in the situations you experience, in the challenges you face, in the beauties you contemplate. And reciprocally you will perceive that everything you are, everything you think, everything you feel, everything you do is perceived, embraced and loved by this presence that is never separate from you, that is, in truth, the very essence of what you are. This awareness will radically transform your experience of life. The common will become sacred. The mundane will reveal itself as miraculous. Each moment, no matter how apparently trivial, will be recognized as a unique, unrepeatable, precious expression of the divine, experiencing itself through you. Chosen. 1. As I approach the moment to conclude this transmission, I want to remind you once more you are not reading these words by chance. It was not coincidence that this text found its way to you. It was a calling, a recognition, a reminder of what your heart always knew. You are one of the chosen. Your life is not common. Your soul is not ordinary. Your presence on this planet, at this critical moment of human evolution, is not accidental. You came with a purpose, with a mission, with specific frequencies to anchor, with particular gifts to share, with a unique aspect of divine light to express. The full moon portal on 7/7 is not the beginning of your spiritual journey. You have been walking this path for much longer than your conscious mind can remember, but it is a point of acceleration, of amplification, of confirmation. It is a moment when the veil becomes so thin that even the most skeptical, the most asleep among the chosen ones, will no longer be able to deny the calling of their souls. Illuminated soul, when the full moon is at the height of its luminosity on the night of 7/7, reserve a moment to express gratitude. Gratitude for the path you have traveled so far, for the lessons you have learned, for the challenges that strengthened you, for the blessings that nourished you. Gratitude for every person who crossed your path, those who supported you, and those who challenged you, those who loved you and those who tested you. All were teachers, all were mirrors, all were instruments of your awakening. Gratitude for the planet itself that welcomed you, that sustained your physical body, that provided the perfect stage for the expression and evolution of your consciousness. Gratitude for your own courage, perseverance, and faith, qualities that sustained you through the darkest moments, the darkest nights of the soul, the most arid spiritual deserts, and gratitude for what is to come, for the unknown that awaits beyond the portal, for the infinite possibilities that will unfold as you continue your journey of awakening, of ascending, of remembering who you truly are. Chosen one. The words of this transmission are only pointers, signposts, suggestions of what you are about to experience directly. They cannot contain the totality, the depth, the vastness of what awaits beyond the portal. For some truths cannot be transmitted through words. Some realities can only be known through direct experience. Some wisdoms can only be absorbed by the heart, not the mind. What you are about to experience transcends language, transcends concepts, transcends everything that can be adequately described or explained. It is a quantum leap in consciousness, a multidimensional expansion of perception, an awakening to realities that exist beyond the boundaries of linear time and space. Trust the process. Trust the wisdom of your soul. Trust the divine plan that unfolds perfectly, even when your mind cannot understand all the complexities, all the nuances, all the purposes. And always remember, you are not just a passive observer of this great awakening. You are an active participant, a conscious co-creator, a focal point through which the light of expanded consciousness flows into humanity's collective field. Awakened soul, as the energies of the full moon portal on 7/7 begin to intensify in the days preceding the cosmic event, allow these final words to settle deeply in your heart. You were never lost, only temporarily forgotten. You were never alone, only momentarily disconnected from awareness of the unity that is your true nature. You were never helpless, only briefly unconscious of the infinite resources, the infinite wisdom, the infinite love that were always available to you. The veil is dissolving, memory is returning, connection is being re-established, and you, chosen one, are at the center of this great awakening, not as a spectator but as a catalyst, not as a follower but as a pioneer, not as a passive recipient but as an active transmuter of the elevated frequencies that are flooding the planet. The transformation has already begun. In fact, it was always underway, but now it accelerates, intensifies, becomes undeniable even for those who try to remain asleep. Honor your role in this cosmic unfolding. Honor your gifts, your visions, your expanded perceptions. Honor the light that you are and always were, even when you walked through the densest shadows. And when the full moon shines in the sky on the night of 7/7, look up with reverence, with gratitude, with full presence, knowing that you are participating in a moment that will be remembered for generations as the great turning point in the evolution of human consciousness. You are loved beyond any measure. You are guided beyond any doubt. You are supported beyond any limitation. You are chosen, and your time to shine in all your divine glory has arrived. If this message touched your soul, if you felt the calling while reading these words, honor that connection. Comment 444, 777, or 9099 as a sign that you recognize the calling, or share what you felt during this reading, the physical sensations, emotions, visions, insights that arose, or simply leave a word of light. I awakened, I am light, I am chosen, I am ready. And if you know someone who is also awakening, someone whose soul you feel needs to receive this message, share it with them. Be an instrument of collective awakening, a messenger of light, a beacon for those who are beginning to remember. The time is now. The portal is opening.